Hey guys, I thought I'd do a little video on the actual control panel and application of the myCOOLMAN fridge. Now I had one of my awesome customers, Daryl Sims, ring me up yesterday and he had a couple of questions about the control panel. So I thought, how many people out there don't know all the ins and outs of a control panel of the myCOOLMAN fridge, and particularly the awesome app that's connected with the fridge. Now let's start with the history of why the control panel is down low on the fridge. Now you look at most of the fridges out there, they have the PCB board or the controlling board up the top. Now if you go up north where it's really hot, you'll see angles on the back of utes. You won't see some of the other fridges that have the control panel up the top, because PCB boards are affected by heat and sun. So these guys have gone, okay, how can we make this better on the myCOOLMAN fridge? So they put it down low on the fridge. They've actually recessed it as well and made it far more relevant and safer for the protection of the quality of the brand. Now, you'll notice down the bottom here where all the plugs are. Now, we've got our 240 volt. You'll notice that there's no 12 volt lead in here, but the fridge is operating. So with myCOOLMAN, they've gone, okay, lots of guys are using fridges on slides and all the rest of it. Leads are getting tangled up, caught up and squished in slides. So what they've done is they've put 12 volt either end of the fridge. So I've actually got my 12 volt lead plugged into the back of the fridge, so it's not getting around the front of the fridge and getting in the way, which is really cool. So thank you myCOOLMAN for being really innovative in relation to the 12 volt lead. You'll notice also it's got a USB down here. Now the USB is really handy. We used it on the weekend. There was headphones, there was cameras, there was everything. We were using all the USBs on the car, so we used the one on the fridge as well. Now I watch a lot of the Facebook pages and I see people put questions up about their fridges and they say, my fridge is freezing up. I don't know why my fridge is freezing up. Now you'll notice down the bottom here there's an emergency override. Now if you're operating the fridge like I am normally, I'm using both compartments at 3 degrees, just leave it on normal use. But if you're in the middle of Australia, fridge is played up, you've got a fridge full of food, the last thing you want to do is lose all your food. So the emergency override allows you to flick it to the left. It'll send 12 volt directly to the compressor, bypass all the electronics on the fridge and send it into freeze mode. Now you might need to pull the plug out every so often to control the temperature, but you don't lose your food. It'll give you the ability to get to a service agent, whether it's in the Outback, Alice Springs, Weeper, Broome, wherever you may be, but it'll get you to a service agent. The benefit of buying a major fridge brand like a Waco, like an Engel, particularly myCOOLMAN, is you've got true nationwide parts and service warranty agreements with service agents all over Australia. It's an important factor when you're selecting your fridge. So okay, let's get into now the actual control panel of the fridge. Now you'll see here, you've got your on and off button. You have to hold it down to turn it off. Now the reason they did this is because kids play with it, you accidentally bump it, you don't want to turn the fridge off. To turn it back on, it's a matter of just flicking it. It's nice and easy. Now you'll see the next switch has got turbo on it. Now turbo is a quick chill function of the fridge, so you can flick that on, the blue light will come on. But what it means is the fridge is now drawing its maximum amount of power. So the longer you leave the turbo on, the longer you're going to chew a lot of juice of your battery. So ideal if you've just been to the supermarket, filled up with meat, you want to get it really cold, or you've just turned the fridge on. While you're driving, it won't really matter. Your battery system's going to run the fridge, no worries. But if you're off grid, I would use the turbo function sparingly because you're going to use a lot of power. So to turn him off, I'll just turn him off. Now, you'll notice on the compartments here, one's shaped like a dog leg, one is not. Now this is the compartment with the compressor, which is built into it. Now you'll see with myCOOLMAN, they've actually got twin baskets in nearly all their models. So such a cool feature to have the twin baskets because you're not digging for everything all the time. Okay, so we'll go to the mode button. So this is your mode button. So we'll push him once. That'll give me the ability to temp up or temp down to whatever we want it to be. Now you'll notice if you push this, it'll automatically set after 3 seconds. Then we push it twice and it'll bring up the second compartment. Once again, you can temp up and temp down however you want. After 3 seconds, it'll automatically set. The other thing to note, hear that little beep or the little bell, if you're away somewhere and the fridge is turned off, the good thing is you can hear the fridge turn on. So you're in the car and you go, oh, I hope the fridge is going. You'll always hear the fridge turn on. So it's actually a pretty cool little feature. So let's go to the mode button one more stage. Okay, we've got Fahrenheit and Celsius. Now these fridges are sent all over the world. So the beauty of it gives the manufacturers flexibility of giving Fahrenheit or Celsius. Obviously in Australia, we're Celsius, so we have it set for Celsius. Now we go past our Fahrenheit and Celsius, and then we get our low, medium and high. Now you can flick that up, you can toggle that up and down. I'm going to leave it on low because I've got 135 amp hours of AGM battery under the bonnet on this vehicle, so I've got plenty of battery. Now on low, the fridge will pulse the battery every 20 seconds. So it's actually detecting how much power is in the battery. On the app, which we'll go into later, you can actually look on the app and see how much power is in your battery. So on low, the fridge will turn off at 10.1 volts. Now it is pretty low, but the reality is you can run your fridge a long time. Now on that medium setting, if you had a single battery car, didn't have a dual battery, but you're concerned about flat batteries, you would run it on the medium setting. On medium, the cutoff is 11.4 volts. So it gives you a bit of running time in the fridge, but you'll be able to start your car. And then on the high, it's 11.8, it'll cut off. Now, not many people use the high. It's virtually on and off with ignition. It is what it is really, but the low and the medium is quite commonly used. All right, let's get past the battery protection. Now we've got Bluetooth on, Bluetooth off. Now, Bluetooth in reality is such a cool feature because a lot of the other cheaper fridges out there, their actual applications for the fridge are in Wi-Fi. Now, it's quite relevant because when you're in the middle of Australia doing the big trip, you're not going to have internet connection, and Wi-Fi needs internet connection. Bluetooth is direct to your phone, so it's far more efficient to be an app using Bluetooth. All right, so we'll go past the Bluetooth and it should take us straight back to settings of the fridge. Now, here's another little feature that a lot of you don't know you can do. Now, my car sits here all the time. It doesn't drive very far each day. I might want to just run one of the compartments, or you're on your way up to Cape York, you've used all your food up, you don't want to run the whole fridge, you're staying at different places for a longer period of time, want to conserve battery. The two arrows work two compartments. So the left-hand compartment, if you hold down the left arrow, will turn off the compartment. And you can do the same back. And then the same with your right-hand compartment, you can turn it off. Ideal when you're doing the big trip, you want to conserve power, you don't want to use all your compartments, you can do it on and off, nice and easy. So that's pretty much the control panel. Now, you've got to remember also with the app, I'm going to do the app shortly, but each fridge has its own QR code. So the app actually has a QR reader in it. So you can actually load multiple fridges onto the app. Now, when I show you the app later, I've got a fridge running on the inside of the shop, and I've got this fridge, I've got two. Now, you guys might have a camper trailer in a car. You might have an 85 myCOOLMAN on the camper trailer, a 44 or 60 or whatever in the car. You can actually operate, look what your batteries are doing on both vehicles, on both fridges, which is a really, really cool feature. So we'll go into the app shortly. The other thing I've done with my fridge, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, is I've actually cut the lead and I've put Anderson plugs. So I've got Anderson plugs running the fridge in here. I've got USB and other bits and pieces too. But what I did with the lead is, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but I actually cut the lead, put an Anderson plug on and kept the cigarette lighter on the lead. Now you remember this is, in this cigarette lighter plug, it's got an angle plug in there as well, so you can actually use it on multiple plugs. But I can keep that in the drawer of the car. If I still need to use a cigarette lighter, I have that ability, so it's kind of cool. So that's pretty much the ins and outs of the control panel of the myCOOLMAN fridge. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I was going to show you the myCOOLMAN app. Now this is quite a powerful app with heaps and heaps of really cool features. Now you'll see here I've loaded two fridges into the app. So I've got the 53 litre dual zone here in the shop and the 69 litre dual zone in my car. Now it's about 15 metres away and outside, I'm inside. So the app is working really, really well. Now you'll notice up in the top right hand corner there's a square. Now that square is your QR code reader. So you can easily add a fridge into the app. Every fridge, every myCOOLMAN fridge has its own identity, so it has its own QR code. myCOOLMAN actually give you a spare QR code in the box with your accessories like your leads and whatever. Now, what we'll do is we'll have a look at the 53 litre dual zone, because he's actually running on 240 volts, where the fridge in my car is running on 12 volts. Now you can see in white, that's what the actual temperature is inside the fridge. Now I've only just turned the fridge on a few minutes ago, but I've set the temperature on the left-hand compartment to -21 and the compartment on the right-hand side to 3 degrees. Now you can make the compartments whatever you like. They can be both fridge, both freezer. You can change it around. As I showed you earlier in the app, you can actually turn a compartment off. So it's quite easy. Now down the bottom, you'll see there where you would normally see the battery levels on 12 volt, it's on 240 volts, so it doesn't have that. Top right hand corner, it shows that it's connected to Bluetooth. Now a lot of the apps out there on fridges are running Wi-Fi, which is a waste of time, because they won't work in Cape York and Simpson Desert and the Kimberleys, because it'll look for an internet connection, which, you know, we all know is not available. So Bluetooth is definitely the most efficient way to run an app for a fridge. Now we'll go back here and we'll go to the dual zone in my car. Now the 69 litre in my car, I've been playing around with the temperatures, but the left-hand side, no, they're sitting perfect. So I've got the left-hand compartment set at 3 degrees, the right-hand compartment set at 4 degrees. Now I can bring that down, put them both at 3 degrees, so I can adjust just all of the settings pretty much off my phone app. Now you'll see now down the bottom, my battery in my car is sitting at 12.3 volts. So I can see at a glance how much power is in my battery. Now let's go one level further. We'll push the setting button and you'll see here the Dirt Road 4x4 dual zone, which is the one in my car. I've actually named it. So you can see there now, I've got energy saving mode. So if you want to run it as a quick chill, you can bring it up. You can change down here to turbo or energy saving. I obviously don't want to run on turbo, as I mentioned earlier in the video. When you run the turbo, the quick chill function, it's going to use a lot of power. So use that sparingly, particularly if you're off grid. Now you'll see here, you can change your battery protection. So as I mentioned already in the video, what the settings were for low, medium and high. I've obviously got mine set for low because I've got a dual battery system in my vehicle. The really cool thing here, it actually gives you a chart which tells you what the cutoffs are for the battery protection, which is very, very handy, because one of the questions people ask me, because I've been in fridges for over 20 years, what are the cutoffs for battery protection? So you can actually look at it at a glance, which is kind of cool. All right, now let's go back out of here. Now let's have a look at this one here. Now this one is really, really important, because I don't know of another fridge app, and I stand corrected, put it into the comments. But this actually tells you what the error codes are that are coming up on your fridge. So if you're getting error code 1, it means you've got low voltage. It means that your battery's getting low. Perhaps you've got the wrong size wiring. Your wiring's too small, it's suffering resistance or voltage drop. ER2 is a fan issue, compressor start issue, low motor speed and so on. But the beauty of this is if you have to ring up a service agent, because one of the reasons you buy a myCOOLMAN, an Engel, a Waco, is because they've got true nationwide parts and service warranty. And myCOOLMAN, because of the Truma factor, has got amazing service. But the beauty of it is you can ring up the service guys, tell them what the code is. They might even be able to tell you on the phone what the problem is, but you can take it to, say, Desert Dwellers in Alice Springs or somewhere in Weep or whatever, get your fridge sorted out on the road. A lot of those cheap Chinese copies and the rubbish fridges, they don't do that. So it's a pretty cool feature to have. So we'll go back now to here. Now, you can see there, I've got 2 fridges loaded. Major benefit, say I've got an 85 litre in my camper trailer, and I've got a 44, a 60 or a 69 in my car, I can adjust both fridges from the app. I can see what the fridges are doing. I can see what the battery levels are, all from this amazing app.